afternoon, everybody. Cabalist here, broadcasting for www.cybernetixTV in association with GameReplays.org. With me today is the lovely forecourt Jester from Game Replays. Jester, give us something.
Don't ever call me lovely.
And there he is, a jester indeed. He makes me laugh. But today we got a wonderful treat for you guys. Honcast 4 tournament, round 1, tSm versus PhB, two monster teams in the competitive scene so far. Well known, all around, great players on both sides. So very excited for this. And so we're gonna start out the replay here. As always, we are 5 seconds in game for those of you who just want to listen to the audio and want to be able to control your own camera by just watching the replay in the HON system. So 5 seconds in game, and if we're all synced up here, we're gonna go ahead. So 3, 2, 1, and play. Alright guys, so we're gonna be looking at the bands coming up here. Oh man, it is so hard to adjust to no, I'm sorry, not hard to adjust, but I loved S2. I love this whole new, including the bans and picks, instead of us trying to have to go over it in under 2 minutes before the game actually starts. So, I'm not entirely sure what you mean, Jester. So, what timestamp?
I screwed up.
Oh, you want to know what? Oh, you didn't hit the play button. You missed it
No, I
somehow?
did.
Alright.
I did it way too early. Can we redo that?
Alright, well,
I'm sorry.
Good afternoon, everybody. The Cabalist here, broadcasting for www.cybernetixTV in association with GameReplays.org. Today I got the lovely forecourt Jester with me today, doing a little co-casting with me. Jester, give us something.
Man, you calling me lovely? That really irks me. Nah, I'm just kidding. I love you.
I love you too, I guess, Jester. but we got a treat for you guys today. We got PhB versus tSm in the Honcast 4 tournament, round 1. So we're gonna kick it off here real soon. So for those of you who want to sync up to us, we're going to be starting out 5 seconds in replay, as always. So just get there, and we're going to head out here. So we'll give a little 3, 2, 1. So if you're ready, everybody's ready to go. We're going 3, 2, 1, and play. And hopefully this time Jester actually hits play at the right time, right?
QQ.
We actually had to do a redo because Jester hit play at the wrong time.
Hey, you said hit play, and then you started, so I hit play. Unfortunately, that's not what you meant. I take no blame here.
It's okay. Jester actually following the steps of the great Breaky CBK in that whole misunderstanding. So, you know, at least you're following the steps of the great shoutcasters of our time.
I could do worse.
You could do worse, like following my example. But alright guys, so we're going to have the bands here coming up. I'm just going to go down the list, as always, just do flat out what tSm is banning. tSm banning... What? That's some sort of glitch in the replay here, because I'm looking at it. I'm not sure if you see the same thing, but I'm seeing tSm banning Hellbringer, PhB banning Engineer, and then again tSm banning Hellbringer and PhB Engineer, which I'm pretty sure is not possible.
Yeah, it's because we rewinded.
Okay.
The chat server actually keeps all that, believe it or not.
Oh, I see. I've never even noticed that before. And like, how many shoutcasts have I done, and I've just never noticed this? Oh man. Wow, they're actually cutting into their time for their second ban, I guess. Like, I was like, oh man, the bans are going back and forth. Awesome. I don't have to waste all this banning time trying to talk about something. But Alright, so here we go. We got Hellbringer, tSm banning Hellbringer and Fade so far. Pretty standard bans. And then PhB banning Chipper and Engineer. Yeah. Yep. I'm so distracted by the fact that there's 2 Hellbringers and 2 Engineers. Just weird. But a Curse getting banned. from TSM. So all around, we had pretty standard bans. Like, nobody's really going up for a certain lineup here, except there it is, PhB banning Vindicator. Possibly, you know, the most common strategy for when you're banning a Vindicator is to go for Tempest, because of course, Vindicator being the easiest person to counter Tempest with his ultimate. You know, even if you've got a BKB up, you're still able to cancel that. So, you know, just the easiest way to counter it, because Vindicator doesn't have to be anywhere near that whole Tempest ulti that's going on. He could just chill in the back and wait for it and then pop his ulti like that. But I don't know, we'll have to see. I mean, Vindicator is a very strong hero by himself, and he's also a great hero, great counter to a Swiftblade in that lane, being able to drain all his mana, and there's pretty much no fear whatsoever from an early Swiftblade. So, I don't know, we'll have to see what's going on here, and then the mind of PhB, but TSM picking up a fast Defiler first pick, gotta love it. As always, you know, we see more and more of these competitive teams doing first pick Defiler, and I gotta agree, she is a great hero. We're running back to, like, Dota 6.48, I think it was, where we had Defiler, Undying, and a third hero, which were pretty much all around, everyone agreed were OP, and everyone would ban or pick those three heroes. It was it made for some real stale gameplay. But PhB picking
Dota,
up Corrupted
stale?
Disciple and Soul Reaper. I know, right? We actually recently did some Dota casts, and it's amazing how versatile the game is compared to Han. Now, like, it's gotten even more, like, since Icebronk's been balancing and adding, you know, he's only added a couple new heroes, but he's been balancing incredibly well, and it makes it so almost every single hero is viable for competitive play. It's just insane. But anyway, back to Han. Sorry guys. I know some of you are gonna be like, Dota noobs, I hate Dota, it looks bad. I'm sorry. But okay, so TSM going for a Pestilence Plague Lighter, second, third pick. Interesting pick. I'm not actually that big of a fan of a Pestilence, at least not as a second, third pick. So many times during this whole picking phase, you typically don't want to pick melee heroes early on, because that really limits the rest of your choices from there on. Because you already know that you're going to have a ranged hero, preferably some sort of babysit hero, with that Pestilence. And, you know, that really can sometimes mess up with your laning combo and what you plan on picking. So it kind of limits you in that way. But, you know, apparently TSM, maybe they have a really strong Pestilence player. Maybe they have a really sick lineup coming up here with this final 4-5. We'll have to see what happens here. But PhB picking up Slither and Tempest. There it is, Tempest. That is why they banned the Vindicator. Excellent. Love to see that. I think Tempest is a lot better hero than a lot of competitive players give him credit for. But at the same time, he's not as good as a hero as pub stars think he is. So, but yeah, Jester, what do you think about this lineup so far?
Well, banning out that Vindicator does give rise to that Tempest. I mean, he should be able to get his ult off a lot easier now without worrying about that kind of silence. But other heroes they could have actually picked for Vindicator to be banned would be the Magmus ult, because he has that casting time ramping up, as well as, I had another one in mind, but it just seems to have escaped me. Heg doesn't have a ramp up time for her ult, but I mean, whatever.
I was just
banned,
thinking silences in general.
Yeah, it's just like silencing that ult. If you have a channeling time on that ult, it can be very devastating to have that Vindicator. So you had a great call there on the Tempest going for PhB. But looking at the teams, I just see a very powerful Legion team there. You do kind of rag a little bit on Pestilence, but I've seen him do some very amazing things with that speed bonus, the AoE stun, and his tankiness just in general for that late game. So I'm not gonna rag on him a bit, because I have seen what he can do. I know a lot of other people will say, hey, this guy can do it much better, but I don't know, I'm kind of a fan of looking at Pestilence there.
Yeah, definitely. Like, Flight is really such a powerful ability early on. I mean, movement speed is so important in the beginning of the game. It can just really make Pestilence a monster sometimes. But yeah, I gotta agree. I really like TSM's lineup so far. But actually, we're